All right, let's do this before I start to get tired. It is Tuesday, May 19th. Start with the S&P. Third day down. Again, price action not exactly exciting, right? But third day down. We had a low of 73.33. We bounced, but the end of the day kind of ended on a weak note, selling at 73.53. That is distinctly below the 10 MA. We have not closed below the 10 MA since March 30th. There. Momentum, which turned negative yesterday, increasingly negative today, probably should tick down for another, I'm guessing 2 days. Wednesday, Thursday floor, Friday level out, and then next week climb. Maybe turn positive into early June, and then we have the SpaceX IPO around here on the 12th. The only wild card, of course, is Trump and whether he attacks. I don't know. I don't think he knows either. Nobody knows. So we'll assume no. I would note also that the lower Bollinger, 7,045, that's going to be up to maybe 71.50 as of Friday or next Tuesday. So there's no realistic chance for the bears to get under anywhere under 71.50 as of Friday. And of course, as of following week, end of May, that's probably going to be offering support around 72.50, maybe even 7300. So I don't know what you want to call this, bull flag, whatever. You could do that, but I think we have another day or two down. The most realistic bearish target is top end of orange gap. If we just jump to a 60-minute for the numbers, which is 72.33 to 7200 even. I would note that that's where the 200 MA on an hourly is got to be. Also, I've got these kind of little key price thresholds here. There's one there and another one here. So we should fall somewhere, not on Wednesday, but on Thursday, somewhere around here. I don't expect anything under here. It just doesn't look realistic. One of my people, Lewis, came up with a target of 72.62, which would be about just about the lower end of purple gap. So we could hit that, but maybe we can just wash out there as well. But I mean, you can certainly argue we've retraced. I mean, look, we've retraced almost 200 points already. That's almost 3%. Anyway, so short-term bearish for another probably day and a half into early Thursday. VIX sharp. I mean, it really isn't the market. The market has no concern. So we're down for a third day, but the VIX is it's not worried. I would be open to 20 to 21 on Thursday morning, perhaps at most. Okay, let's go through some individual stocks. Apple up 0.4, pretty impressive, huh? Relative to the main market. Structure is a baby bull flag. Nothing bearish there. I'm gonna fly through some of these. This isn't pretty in the minors, yeah. Agnico down 3%. I guess it depends on how you count it, but this is the first really decisive close below the 200-day in since January of 2025. So it's a year and a half. Not great. Clearly the main market isn't helping. Don't care about that. First Majestic Silver down for a fifth day. I'm guessing we'll, maybe test it on Thursday. AMD down for the fifth day of 6. This was a close under the 10 MA. Should fill most of orange gap, at least a bit of it. Momentum turned negative today, which is what I was babbling about yesterday in my video, which I noticed. So, short-term bearish. Amazon down 2%, testing a little bit spiky from key price threshold. Note that yesterday's candle was spiky from the 10 MA, so well, again, cyclically, we're on the low end, so another day or two at most. Let's just jump to a close-up on ASTS. This is very annoying. ASTS was actually up 1.5%. It was down 7% in the morning. Full rebound. So firstly, yesterday's black candle played out, but we had a rebound. They still couldn't sell it down. This little line here shouldn't be there. So let's just get rid of that because that's just stupid. That's wrong. But yeah, we're another day closer to the IPO, and you can see the underlying price pressure. Moving on. American Express down 0.9. I mean, what do you want to call this? Big bullish pennant of wave 2, maybe a wave 3 up to here, 340, 350, maybe in June or July. Barrick Mining, a 6-day down, still holding above a 200-day, which is better than some of the others. But clearly we've got to test it either tomorrow or Thursday. Boeing set to fill orange gap. Maybe we'll get to purple gap, maybe. But Bank of America just choppy. Ooh, look at that. Wow. BlackRock getting whacked 4.5%. Not pretty. Look at the volume as well. Big volume. I don't know what happened with BlackRock today, but somebody did something. Momentum turned negative, which is clearly part of the reason we're down, but that's the ugliest drop we've had since at least even before, not including now. Yeah, since early March. Interesting. Something to watch tomorrow. Blackstone down 2.5%. Not great either. Caterpillar leaning weak. Kimiko. Carnival down 4.1%. Carnival, that is well, we're back to the lows of early March. Again, not great relative to the fact that this is when the S&P was 6,300 and it's back there already again. Cleveland Cliffs, not great. Coinbase. Deckers has earnings on Thursday afternoon. A lot of chop. Disney down 1.5%. That's a new historic high in Energy Transfer. Ford bouncing a touch. Freeport down. Google down 2.3%, but you can see yesterday's candle was pretty spiky. So it looks like we're going to tag orange cap. I should drag that across a touch. Again, I wouldn't expect anything under orange cap. That's, Wednesday down, first day, find a floor. In Depot, earnings were okay. They're doing okay. And the stock was did have a little bit of a washout, news cycle low, but ended up 0.9%. Today's candle is bullish engulfing, suggestive that it'll probably be up a little bit early on Wednesday. But yeah, earnings were okay. They weren't bad. Heckler, under the 200 day. First time since August, July. Not great. Intel, up 2.5%. It did break a lower high and a lower low though. Red gap should be tagged within a day or two. JP Morgan, that is a bearish engulfing candle. So a few of the financials here not looking great for Wednesday. There's another one. KKR down 3.2%. Zero sign of a floor there. Not pretty at all. Kinder Morgan, that is a new historic high. Impressive. McDonald's down 0.6. Kind of dragged back down with the main market. Meta down 1.4%. Again, I think this is right now. Meta is my big short into the fall. Now, it's a crazy, head and shoulders target offering 300 to 250, but bears need to take out 520 to start getting excited. Again, I do lean bearish for a couple of days, but looks like we should come up back to tag the 200-day in early mid-June maybe. What I don't expect, I don't see any realistic hope of going back above 730, this high 743. That Meta looks a problem. I mean, let's just jump to a monthly chart. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's do it. Look at this. Look at that. It doesn't come more cleaner than that. This is a problem. I don't have a time machine. Surprisingly, you might understand. But the structure is what it is. That is a head and shoulders. Extrapolated target is, I mean, I guess if you're more conservative, you'd say 300 to 250. But I mean, that's crazy talk. I would be the first one to say that is crazy talk. Now, to negate the structure, we need to go above 743. Maybe round it up to say 750. Any price action above 750, forget it. But this is the chart is telling me there's a threat of this. Of course, I'll even dig up my best ever call for a Dow stop. We had a head and shoulders and Boeing, and down it went, just like a 737 Max. Now, of course, you can say, "Oh, COVID was the excuse." Whatever. Structure was a head and shoulders, and down we went. Anyway, go back to where were we at? Meta. Okay. MP Materials struggling down 3%. We're in the 54s. Microsoft, early upside, but we did settle down 1.5%. Again, bearish for Wednesday, Thursday, but I do think we're going to come up to green gap in June. Let's drag this out a bit. Micron up 2.5%, but even though we were up, that's a second close under the 10 MA. Short-term bearish. Netflix, short-term bearish. Nike down a touch. NVDA, a third day down 0.8%. Today's candle is a hollow red reversal. It does suggest that NVIDIA will be up briefly on Wednesday. I do lean net bearish, and I think 212 looks realistic. And interestingly, the old high from October was 212, marked by a black candle, no less. Then we have 216 here. We could see 212. Probably not Wednesday, but Thursday after earnings. Again, clearly earnings are going to be good. There's no doubt about that. We know that. Ondas down almost 6%. Oracle down almost 3%. Occidental up with oil. Pan American down with silver. Palantir up fractionally, but midterm bearish into the fall. PayPal down 1.2%. There's an upside gap that'll probably be filled in June. I can't even be bothered to market. Red Cat down because of the main market. Transocean news cycle high, but again, I almost inclined to delete the chart, but should jump to Rocket Lab. Look at this. Rocket Lab was down 11.5% in the morning. So yesterday's black candle played out. We settled down 2.9%. Today's candle was a hollow red reversal with a hyper spike. Well, not hyper spike, just a pretty strong, powerful spike. So it suggests that Rocket Lab will probably be up maybe early morning. But I still think there's a good chance that maybe we will reverse downward. And but I would accept 93 is like a stretch. Even 100 looks a stretch because $100 is 25% down. It's a long way. I would note that momentum is weakening for a third day. Maybe we'll get down to say Wednesday, Thursday, and then level out. Maybe. I'm spooked about buying up here. Give me it down here, and I'll buy it again. I just don't want to buy it here. This is not good. RSI is still 69, which is borderline overbought. Moving on. SMR down 4%. The long-term horror continues. Target up 3%. Earnings are due early Wednesday and should be okay, much like Home Depot. You can see a lot of spikes from around a 50-day. For Tesla, down for a fourth day, down 1.4%. We have a little spike from trend. 404.11. Today's candle is actually, yeah, today's candle is a reversal, so probably going to be up early Wednesday. I would note that momentum settled fractionally positive, should be negative for a couple of days. So early upside Wednesday, briefly, and then maybe break down a bit into Thursday. United Airlines down 3.7% in the 89s. Again, alarm bells if the 84s are taken out. I'm guessing that we don't do that. If we do, though, that's a really big problem. Otherwise, I would still hope that maybe we can get up to teal gap in mid-late June. That won't be easy, though. Again, you got issues of fuel shortages, the consumer is broken, and of course, if oil jumps on a second wave of attacks, then United is going to break 84. So my guess is it doesn't do that in the short term. Wow, look at that. Uranium energy down 9.8%. Not great. UPS bouncing up 1.4%. Look at that. It's a great example of a stock bouncing off a 200-day. Exxon up 1.3% because of oil. In fact, that is the 3, 4, 7th day up. Notably, we're above this area here, so Exxon's back to bullish. And also, there was a head and shoulders on this. You could have drawn in one, but that's been negated. We've gone up too high. All right, oil, gold, and silver. Actually, before I forget, it hasn't updated yet. I'll just forget about that. We'll look at oil instead. Commodity oil. Currently, as of 5:31 p.m. Eastern, it was down 0.3%. There's another reversal candle. It does lean that oil short-term bullish for another day or two. Momentum remains marginally positive, so the emphasis, maybe we'll get to 109, 110 again. There's some weird stuff going on with this candle. I'm pretty sure we were printing. Wow, maybe. USO on the daily. That is not. Is that a black candle? 152.88. No, it's not. All right, so short-term bullish oil, gold, silver. Let's look at commodity silver. Not great. Commodity silver down $3.97, which is 5.1. Third day down of 4. That's not a pretty candle, is it? 73.69. I mean, you could even argue, you could argue we're just going to back test for trend Wednesday, maybe Thursday, and then go zooming upwards. I would accept that. I would also note that the momentum turned negative today. Probably going to go down for a day or two. If I was going to buy it right now, I'd want to be buying it around 70. Not tomorrow, probably early Thursday at 70. I could do that myself. I could buy silver at 70 on Thursday. I'll think about it. But space stocks are my priority. As for gold, not great. Down $83, 1.8%. I mean, you see, if you keep in mind that silver chart I just showed you, gold had a little breakout, rolled over, and it's under the trend now, right? Remember, I was hoping that maybe silver would bounce off it, but gold is way under now. This isn't great at all. So this line here, that should go. It really that needs to get rid of that. Yeah, this isn't. It's not good at all. I mean, look, 200 day, 43.35, held in March. You got gold bugs got real problems if we can't hold that, and we're only talking about another 150 odd bucks, $148 to be precise down. It's not great. Okay, what else? What I want to end on? I was going to do bonds, but the charts haven't updated yet. Stock charts takes a while to update the bond charts. I mean, 10-year. Yeah, see, it's not even updated yet. Still not done it. Yeah, it's not done it. But anyway, broadly, bond yields are going up. This is a problem. I can show you the 10-year for today. Yeah, see, that one's updated. So you printed a short-term high of 4.687%. Clearly, anything above 5% is going to merit alarm bells. And clearly, that's not going to go. We even have a little gap down here to fill. So probably going to level out in a day or two and then cool back. And of course, got a Fed meeting in June. Also got one in, I guess we got one in early June and then late July. And then maybe September, yeah, mid-September. All right, what do I end with? Maybe just end with that. So yeah, not a very exciting price action, but we're cooling back ahead of holiday week. You could call it a holiday reversal. Um, and then after the holiday, after we're on the flip side of Memorial Day, then we can resume upwards again. Again, the only concern would be Trump attacks, but I don't think that would not make any sense to expect that across this weekend. I don't think it's going to happen. So should tag red gap. I'm going to hope we can come down to orange gap. That would make for a much better purchase level, probably for ASTS and Rocket Lab. Anyway, have a good evening, and it'd be interesting to see how NVIDIA trades on Wednesday after hours. Good night.